book thief. This is a very interesting book to really be talking about, especially in this place of Istanbul, formerly Constantinople, formerly whatever city or whatever place it was before they built the city of Constantinople here. Well, whatever that is, all I want to say is that the book thief is just a very interesting book. I'm just gonna assume that you haven't watched my summary video, but if you did watch it, skip to the part when I say the end. It's 1939 and it's Nazi Germany in the setting because it's 1939. It's like the start of World War II. There's this 9-year-old girl called Liesel who is living with her foster family on Himmel Street after her brother died and her mother abandoned her. So that's a terrible thing to do. Her parents, actually, she didn't abandon her, but her parents have been taken to concentration camps, so she has to be stuck here. And Liesel decides that she should steal books. Her first book was stolen, and her foster father, assumed nothing after she went to bed several times. Yeesh, I did that too. Everyone has to do that sometime. So that happened, and then she stole and then the next time she stole more books. However, the problem was she couldn't read them. So her father decided to teach her. And that is where the story seems to start and go on. Afterwards, more, how should I say this, adventurous and very quizzical and very unexpected plot twists happen. We also have to look at the fact that this novel is narrated by Death. Death as in, the person. You know, that god in Greek mythology who, takes souls from dead bodies to the underworld. Well, basically that. But for assuming Death is the person, we're gonna have to assume that this is from a superior being's perspective. Like Hades, or Zeus's, or Christian gods, or Catholic god, or Buddhas, or I don't know, elephant god, Hindu elephant god, whatever his name is. Sorry for all those Indians I offended and all those other Muslims and people I offended. That just doesn't seem to have happened. And when the bomb starts falling onto the streets, there's lots of terror that seems to be going on too. The end of the story. Now it's time for the part where I tell you why this book is interesting, a little quick analysis of it and stuff. But I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is tell you what I think, what this book is going to tell us, why Yaffa wanted to write it, and what I think about the book, and why I would recommend it. Number one, the author probably wrote this book, at least according to the part I've seen at the end, is that it talks a lot about Greek mythology. The thing is, this book actually relies heavily on Greek mythology, as I can see. Death is something from the Greek mythology. Hitler, well, there's something related, Greek related to him. And there's not really that much reason why MARKUS ZUSAK, the author of this book, said that why he wrote the book thief. But I guess I can see one thing here. He wanted to tell people about Death, 1939, and I guess was intrigued by the subject, so I decided to write a book about it, because why not? Just wanted to show us what life would be like. I mean, I don't know how old he is, but he probably lived through World War II as a kid. I definitely enjoyed not being born during World War II. So did my parents, and so did my grandparents, possibly. But all I can see here is a girl who steals books, which gives the title The Book Thief. I also see a person willing to do anything to the end, so that she or he or whatever person, transgender or whatever, would still go on and would still not give up. How many hits you take, you still somehow find out how to stand up. like smack, stand up, smack, stand up, smack, stand up, smack, stand up, and no matter how many hits you get. Literally, that's one of the dreams of the Jewish character inside this. That's literally one of his dreams. He's fighting the Führer, aka Hitler, in a boxing arena, while Germans, who are classified as pure Aryans, come on and watch. And the rules are the same. No one can break the rules unless the Führer is losing. And so the Führer was winning, and then suddenly he started losing, and he said, "German people, come out here!" And they all baited up the Jew who was winning, which isn't that fair, in my opinion. But hitting the mustache, at least not something, like aiming for the mustache. Blood on the mustache. Actually, that would actually sound pretty good, in my opinion. Now, what should I now? Why should you read this book? Number one, you could learn some facts about how some Germans who are classified as pure Aryans would think of the society. How some people who are still considered pure Aryans would think of their part in the society. How others treated other people who thought they needed equal treatment. I mean, back then it was Nazis or communists, and communists still exist today, although not in the form as it was before. At least, but if it was me, I would have probably chosen communism over Nazis, because Nazis seem to be overwhelmed and overzealous, while the communists, actually, they seem a bit better until the Nazis go away, and now they seem bad, except for capitalism. And here is a small fact: you are going to die, so here's one way to learn how to die, and how not to die, and how to experience your life if you were from the 1940s. The book teaches us. I mean, what you should read this book, because you might like finding out how people lived in that back then. How some people actually just lived by stealing because of rations. And how you can do to change your life too. The book it has morals. I can't really see some of them. One of the first morals I've actually found out of this is that you can find pleasure anywhere. Just you have to know how to find it and how to present it. And you always have to see anything in different ways. Maybe your way is not wrong, but it's not that right either. You might want to go for a second person, or your first person, or a third person, or even a fifth or fourth, or how many people's person view. Which I really need advice about. And this is a perfect book to talk about, although I do not really enjoy that small fact that they said you are going to die. And I don't like the fact that this was narrated by Death, but other than that, Death is a very great storyteller. So that is the end of this book and today's episode of The Book Thief. And all I want to say is, Guten Tag. That's how you say it, right? Yeah. Bye! Shout out from Istanbul / Constantinople / whatever you want to call it, Turkey.